about this protocol effort as well. So in that time, we've already given out, say, 8,000 accounts on the Wave Sandbox, and we have another 20,000 to give out as well as we go. But more interesting to that is that September 30th is when we're planning to extend the preview to include real live users. So we're planning to extend the preview to about 100,000 people on September 30th. We know it will still be in preview form at that phase. There will be bugs and missing features, and we're really doing it as we want to see how people start to really use the system, because the sandbox experience, as people who already have accounts will know, is rather noisy and it does fall over a lot, and so there's sort of a different SLA we're going to try and put towards the preview instance. And another interesting thing there is, given that the platform is so fundamental to the overall experience of Google Wave, we want to highlight some of the extensions that get built by hopefully people in this room as part of September 30th. So if you guys do end up pulling together sort of a demo prototype as Fred was talking about, we can see about getting that into some type of a gallery experience in Google Wave. Fred sort of spoke to them at the high level, but I wanted to run through each of the APIs that we have available as part of Google Wave. So there's the embed APIs, which let you bring the collaborative experience of Google Wave to your own site. So it's a pretty simple JavaScript API. It's actually pretty basic. We are working to expand it as well, but it's similar to Google Maps JavaScript API, where you can drop in some JavaScript and then have the Wave experience right there. Then we have extensions, which come in sort of two flavors. One is gadgets, which you might be familiar with from OpenSocial. So there's the gadget XML manifest file, and we're actually still working to support the full JavaScript for the OpenSocial APIs, but the rest of the gadget APIs are available. And there's also a Wave gadget API, which has some interesting things that hopefully some of the demos will show, how you can share some state of the gadgets. Then we have robots, which are an interesting concept because they're automated participants. Robots are often used either to help you out as you're working on a Wave, or to do third-party integrations to some other system, say a CRM system in the back end, or whatever it might be. So let me show a couple demos. I will caution that I think we were just making some final tweaks before the demo, so we'll see how this goes. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and create a new Wave and just show a fairly basic gadget. We call it the yes, no, maybe gadget. So first of all, you'll see I'm clicking debug, where I can add extensions. Clearly, this is not where it will be for September 30th when users go in there, because users shouldn't be debugging Google Wave. But for now, for everybody in this room, this is what you do. So click extensions, and then depending upon how you have it packaged, you would either use the extension installer, which is sort of documented on Google Code, or you can do add gadget if it's not a robot, or if it's just in the gadget XML. So add gadget, we have a very basic gallery experience, but and this is where you can drop in arbitrary URL for a gadget if you have one. But I'll just go ahead and click the yes, no, maybe gadget, and then I will finish up. And I will add Marcel and Brian, and so the basic idea is here. So like if I'm inviting people to a barbecue, they can let me know if they're gonna join. I think this is zoomed in a little too much or something, but we can fix that by minimizing these panels. I promise there are 3. There you go. So clearly I'm hosting, so I will be making it. And the basic point there is that as people make changes, that you can see that the updates are made in real time. So just like you see character-by-character transmissions, this Wave extension to the OpenSocial Gadgets API also provides character-by-character in effect, or operation-by-operation. So I wanted to also show, so clearly there needs to be a location for this, so I can drop in, and you'll see that that is a bug. We call that a shiny. A shiny, which is our way of saying it broke, and probably best idea to reload. You'll notice that the Wave UI will actually still work a little bit, but we don't quite trust it enough, so we flash that warning up so you don't lose data, for example. So when you do see that, you probably do want to refresh, even though you will notice the buttons probably still work. So I was going to click this little button here, which will drop in a map gadget. Oh, or no. Oh. well, let's try a different. I didn't count on demoing for a Mac. I apologize. It's more. Yeah. Never mind. So we have a bot as well that will do some syntax highlighting, and I will go ahead and add Syntaxy as her name. I'll add Syntaxy, and you'll see that she sort of gave me some brief instructions where I can indicate to her that there's some Python code in this message, and I can reply, and then what? I'm not going to try and figure out that paste. It's been too long. Yeah, so you'll see that even before I finished hitting done, she changed that plain text that I pasted in there and made it a little bit prettier. Again, this is just one example of a type of robot you could build, but it's pretty neat to see how quickly she responded and made it a little bit more usable. I wanted to show one more demo, but I'm not totally sure it's going to work. So a guy named Tom out in the Netherlands works on MediaWiki, which is the software behind Wikipedia. And he was actually at one of the hackathons a couple weeks back, and he has done a neat little integration that uses both embed and a robot. So it really does a pretty nice experience bringing the Wave experience into MediaWiki. So this is just a typical content page. I borrowed some content about elephants from Wikipedia. And we can go ahead and click edit. And what it'll do now is it will flash that screen, and he's actually overridden the fact that there was the typical MediaWiki edit experience, and instead he's put in an embedded wave. So you'll see that when I get in here, this is just the same experience as if I were in Google Wave. And so I remember hearing that the population of African elephants has tripled in the last 6 months. Not sure who caught that reference, but it was a trusted news source, I promise. In any case, I won't bore you by typing the whole thing, but type some more text here and click done. And what this does is it detects the fact that I finished and crashes. What this does here is it detects the fact that I finished, and when I go back to page, in theory, yes, right here, you'll see that the text has been updated with population of African elephants, FDS, FDS, FA, DFA. But what the robot did was actually sync the edits I just made back to the native MediaWiki backend. So that's a pretty powerful combination of both embed and a robot. So hopefully you guys will come up with some interesting examples as well and make it happen. So in terms of next steps, we do have documentation up on Google Code, and there'll be some people from the Wave team sort of running around here most times during the weekend. I think Marcel's going to do a Java robots tutorial a little maybe later tonight, I think is the idea, but we'll play that by ear as things go. Thank you.